And you might say, well, if that's all true, why would you say this? You know, I don't know why I said it. I mean, we're trying to be funny, but does that make it okay? Of course not. My wife and I were stunned this past summer at the number of kids with sickle cell. So I came on this radio program when I got back talking about sickle cell. I talked to politicians about it. I said, well, how much money is being spent on sickle cell? I don't know. I said, well, what? And I asked doctors at the ranch and others, well, is there any research being done? Why? Nobody called me. Nobody called me. No black journalist called me. Nobody ever called me about any of that. So, my wife and I took a child with sickle cell who we had to send home because he was so sick. And so we had to take him to the hospital, which is 120 miles from the ranch. And so we all got in a pickup because he liked the pipes on the pickup. And we roared on down with a doc sitting in the back of one of the bag deals. And we roared on down to the University of New Mexico Hospital, which is a marvelous place. And Charlotte was getting a hold of his mom. We were flying her out from New Jersey. And so he was holding my wife's hand because my wife was his surrogate mother for the time being. And he said, am I going to die here? And she said, no, you're not. So, and he did not. And so that's when I came back and talked about this. Does that mean that I should be forgiven for saying what I said about the Rutgers women? That's not what this is about. But that's what I'm about. Because I'm a good person who said a bad thing. Do you want to know what people called me for supporting Harold Ford Jr.? Do you want to know the mail I got to call me an N lover? And do you want to know what people said to me for the years that I played Bishop Patterson's sermons? People tell me they didn't want to hear that. Yeah. Well, you can imagine. You know what people said to me when I booked the Blind Boys of Alabama here years ago, and they've been on fairly regularly ever since then, about what they said about them and about me about all of the African-American musicians over the years who I've had on this program and so on. Does that mean that it's okay for me to say what I said about these Rutgers women? I hope you don't think that, because I don't think that. So I'm going to go talk to these women, if they'll let me, and tell them what I've just told you. And what have I learned from this? Because Reverend DeForest said, I want you to tell me what you've learned. Here's what I've learned. That you can't make fun of everybody because some people don't deserve it. And because the climate on this program has been what it's been for 30 years, doesn't mean that it has to be that way for the next 5 years or whatever, because that has to change. So, and I understand that. And wouldn't you think our job at that ranch is to restore the self-esteem and the dignity and the confidence of these children? Well, why would I think then it's okay to go on the radio last Wednesday and make fun of these kids who just played for the national championship? Well, I can't answer that. I'm sorry I did that. I'm embarrassed that I did that. I did a bad thing. But I'm a good person. And that will change. 19 after the hour.